Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. But we've got a bit of a twist this time. We're going to be looking at it through the lens of, well, Rokamari.com.
Rokamari.com.
Yeah, it's a really popular online bookstore in Bangladesh. Gives us a whole new global perspective on this, classic self-help book.
But before going to the full video, looking to boost your online security and streamline your work? Meet GoLogin, the ultimate tool for managing multiple accounts effortlessly. GoLogin is the best browser for multi-accounting. With GoLogin, you can protect your privacy and handle tasks like digital marketing, data collection, and testing in secure, isolated browser environments. Whether you're working remotely, managing multiple social media profiles, or running ad campaigns, GoLogin has you covered. So why wait? Take control of your online presence and sign up for GoLogin today. Experience seamless browsing with safety and ease. Now, back to the topic.
Stuff.
No, not at all. He acknowledges that those feelings are real,
Right.
but it's about how we confront them. And Rokamari.com actually highlights the section in the book called Inflow of New Thoughts Can Remake You.
Wow. Yeah. That sounds powerful.
It is. And it really shows how Peale was ahead of his time, with this idea of neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity.
Yeah, like the brain's ability to actually change and adapt. He believed that replacing those negative thoughts with positive ones could rewire our brains for happiness and success.
So it's not just, thinking happy thoughts all the time. It's more about consciously shifting our mindset and then, well, taking action, right?
Exactly. Peale was very clear that positive thinking isn't passive. It's the fuel that drives meaningful action and allows us to contribute to something bigger than ourselves.
Makes sense. But what I find really interesting is that The Power of Positive Thinking is listed as a bestseller on Rokamari.com, even though Bangladesh is a predominantly Muslim country.
Right. And that really shows the universal appeal of Peale's message. While his work is rooted in his Christian faith, those core principles of positive thinking seem to resonate across cultural and religious boundaries.
Yeah. And Rokamari.com actually emphasizes that,
Yeah.
Like their listing highlights how the book can help you overcome challenges and take control of your life.
Exactly. It seems like they're really focusing on those practical self-help aspects of Peale's work, the shared human desire for happiness and success, regardless of your background or beliefs.
Like they're saying, hey, here's a tool that can help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's clearly connecting with readers in Bangladesh.
And you know what else is interesting?
What's that?
Rokamari.com mentions that Dr. Peale wasn't just an author.
Oh, right.
He was like a media personality, using radio and magazines to spread his message to a wider audience.
He was a true pioneer in the self-help movement, really shaping how we think about personal growth today.
And speaking of connections, they also list some other books that people frequently buy alongside The Power of Positive Thinking. Some are classics, like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yeah. Think and Grow Rich, focusing on achieving financial success through positive thinking and goal setting.
Right. But then there are others that are, well, maybe a little less well-known, like The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That's a good one. It dives into how our subconscious beliefs can shape our reality and how we can tap into that power to, manifest our desires.
So it's like taking those ideas about personal empowerment even further, exploring a whole world of self-improvement techniques.
It really is. And it gives us a glimpse into what these readers in Bangladesh are really interested in. They're not just content with the what of positive thinking. They want to know the how.
The practical stuff.
Exactly.
It's funny. I just noticed that Rokamari.com only has 20 copies of The Power of Positive Thinking left in stock.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a limited edition item.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. That scarcity might actually contribute to the book's perceived value.
Right. It's like finding a hidden gem.
It definitely makes it seem more desirable.
Imagine getting your hands on one of those last copies. It'd be like a treasure hunt for positive thinking in Bangladesh.
It really adds a sense of urgency.
It does. And, it just goes to show the power of this book and how it continues to capture people's imaginations even decades after it was published.
It really is a testament to its timeless wisdom and practical advice, resonating with readers across generations and cultures.
So it seems like we've established that The Power of Positive Thinking is more than just a book. It's like a gateway to a whole world of self-improvement.
Absolutely.
But how does it actually work? What are some of the specific techniques that Peele recommends?
Well, that's a great question. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into in the next part of our deep dive. Peel offers a whole range of practical techniques, and we're going to explore how they can be applied to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. So one of Peel's most well-known techniques is this idea of positive affirmations.
Oh, yeah. Like those I am statements you always hear about.
Exactly. Peel believed that by repeating those positive statements, about ourselves and our goals, we can actually shift those subconscious beliefs and kind of attract positive outcomes.
Oh, I see.
It's like planting seeds, in the garden of your mind.
Okay, so instead of saying, ugh, I'm terrible at public speaking, you'd say something like, I am a confident and engaging speaker.
Exactly. You got it.
Yeah.
By consistently, affirming the positive, you start to believe it. And then you actually start acting accordingly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about when you're dealing with some serious challenges, or you're feeling overwhelmed with negative emotions? Does Peel just say to ignore those feelings?
No, not at all. He acknowledges those feelings of, fear, worry, and doubt. We all have them.
Right.
But he encourages us to actually confront them head on with faith and a belief in our ability to overcome them.
So how do you actually do that? Like, are there specific techniques for those tough moments?
There are. One that he really emphasizes is visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah, like picturing yourself successfully navigating a challenging situation or achieving that goal you've been working towards.
Oh, well,
And by doing that, repeatedly picturing that positive outcome, you're actually creating a mental blueprint for success.
like a mental rehearsal.
Exactly. And this ties back into the idea of neuroplasticity. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, right.
By engaging in this kind of positive mental imagery over and over again, we're actually strengthening the neural pathways, those connections in our brain that are associated with, well, confidence and success.
So you're training your brain to believe in your own capabilities, like that. But what about the spiritual side of Peel's work? How does that fit in for someone who might not be religious?
That's a great question. And, while Peel's work is rooted in his Christian faith, his concept of spiritual power can be interpreted, well, more broadly.
So it's not about subscribing to a specific religion.
Not necessarily. It's more about tapping into a sense of, inner strength and maybe a connection to something bigger than yourself, whatever that might be for you.
Like an inner reservoir of resilience.
Yeah, you could say that. And motivation, too. And if we think back to that rokamari.com listing, it seems like even in Bangladesh, which is a predominantly Muslim country, readers are finding value in that message.
Right, right.
So it really does point to the universality of these principles, the desire for happiness, success, and inner peace. That transcends those cultural and religious boundaries.
Yeah, it's like the power of positive thinking offers this, like common language for personal growth and empowerment, no matter your background or beliefs.
Absolutely. And it's a good reminder that despite our differences, we share a common human experience. We all face challenges. We all have the potential to overcome them.
Now, earlier we were talking about those other books, that are often purchased along with The Power of Positive Thinking, and they're listed on rokamari.com too.
Oh, right, right.
How do those books kind of complement or expand on Peel's ideas?
Well, titles like Think and Grow Rich and, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, they really dive into specific areas of personal development. But they all align with Peel's core principles.
Okay.
So Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, that one focuses on the power of, well, setting clear goals and cultivating that burning desire and believing in yourself, of course.
So it takes that concept of positive thinking and applies it specifically to, like, financial success.
Yeah, exactly. Hill lays out a really detailed roadmap for how to harness the power of thought, to achieve that material abundance.
And what about the power of your subconscious mind? That one sounds pretty intriguing.
It is. In that book, Joseph Murphy explores that vast potential, of our subconscious mind and how it influences our thoughts, our behaviors, and ultimately even our reality.
Wow.
And he argues that by understanding our subconscious and working with it, we can overcome those limiting beliefs and actually, manifest our desires.
It's like unlocking some hidden superpower.
It really is. And that concept connects really well with what Peele talks about, the power of belief and the idea that our thoughts really do create our reality.
So these other books are like a deeper exploration into specific areas of personal growth. But they all kind of stem from those foundational principles of positive thinking that Peele lays out.
Exactly. They provide a broader context for understanding, the potential of positive thinking. And they offer those practical strategies for applying those principles to different areas of your life.
It's like a whole ecosystem of ideas and techniques,
Mm-hmm.
all aimed at empowering individuals,
Mm-hmm.
to live those fulfilling and successful lives.
Absolutely. And this exploration, it's not just limited to reading these books. It's about taking action, trying out different techniques, and discovering what works best for you.
That's a good point. It's not
Yeah.
just about reading, it's about doing. So from all this, what are some key takeaways from our deep dive into the power of positive thinking so far?
Well, I think it's clear that positive thinking is more than just wishful thinking. It's a conscious choice. And it's a skill.
A skill.
Yeah, one that we can actually cultivate through practice.
Okay.
And it's not about ignoring those negative emotions, but about facing them head on with faith and a belief in our ability to overcome those challenges.
Right.
And remember, positive thinking, it's not passive. It's the fuel that drives meaningful action, right? And it empowers us to create that positive change, both in our own lives and the world around us.
Okay, so we can take action and make a difference.
Absolutely. And it's a concept that, we've seen transcends cultural and religious boundaries. It resonates with people from all walks of life who are seeking, happiness, success, and that sense of inner peace.
It's a universal desire.
It really is. And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, think about how these principles might actually apply to your own life.
It's amazing to think, I know The Power of Positive Thinking was published way back when, but it still feels so relevant today, maybe even more so. I mean, our world is just so fast-paced and, well, overwhelming sometimes.
I agree. I think in a world that's, constantly bombarding us with negativity and uncertainty, Peel's message is like a breath of fresh air.
It is.
It offers hope and that sense of empowerment,
Yeah.
that we can actually do something about it. And his techniques, well, they give us those practical tools for navigating those challenges, managing stress, and cultivating that, more positive outlook.
And it's not just us saying that, right?
Mhm.
Rokamari.com, that bookstore in Bangladesh, they highlight how important Peel's work is in a global context, too.
Right.
It's like his ideas are reaching across cultures.
Absolutely. It's fascinating, really. I mean, The Power of Positive Thinking is a bestseller there in Bangladesh, and that speaks volumes.
It does.
It shows that regardless of our background, our beliefs, we all have this shared desire for happiness, success, and inner peace.
We all want a better life.
Really do, and we all want the tools to actually achieve it.
It's like this book is a bridge,
Yeah.
connecting people from different cultures and backgrounds through this, well, shared language of positive thinking.
I like that. A bridge. It really highlights the power of these ideas to go beyond borders and create, a sense of unity in a world that often feels, well, pretty divided.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the power of positive thinking,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you really want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway is just realizing the power of our own thoughts. By choosing to focus on the positive, believing in ourselves, and then taking action, we can actually shape our reality and create a more fulfilling life. It might not always be easy, but it's a journey worth taking.
It is. And remember, you don't have to do it alone, right? There's a whole world of resources and support out there, from books like The Power of Positive Thinking to online communities, workshops. Take that first step, explore those different techniques, and see what works for you, your journey towards a more positive, more empowered life. It all starts with a single thought.